All right, everybody, I am back. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Lunchbox. It's your boy Leon. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna do my sound check. Yeah, it's there. It's there. Sound check is in. Man, hey, I got a couple of things we're gonna talk about today. Some really cool stuff. We're gonna keep it raw. Of course, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I do not edit anything. This is the live stream. And then you get to see some of the other things I speak about or I care about in the school community. So in the school community, which is opening up today, is a free community for you to join. We're going to talk about some of this content creation related things for real estate. And in the school community, man, I've been really looking at this and how I wanted to structure this because I hate boring stuff. But more importantly, I realize over 20 years in the real estate space, it is my responsibility to teach, to show you how some of the things that these gurus won't show you that you really should know. This is not designed to take your money or to give you partnerships where you come in with me, flat fee, you come in, you learn everything. We're going to be doing some monthly webinars because I fully believe if you're going to get into real estate, there's some things you really should know, and you shouldn't just approach it as an investor. You should approach it as an investor with an agent hat on. Yeah, you need to understand terms. You really should understand what terms mean and like the 5 things you should have in every contract so you don't get hung up out there. I've been in enough deals where newbies actually profess to know it, and I'm on the other side talking to the attorney like they're dumb. Like, what are they doing? And I don't want that to be you, okay? I owe it to the community. Like I said, 20 years in the real estate space. I've done fix and flips. I've done wholesales. I've done, what else? Traditional, helping buyers, helping sellers. I've sold everything from $5,000 lots to $1.7, $1.8 million places. So I think I have done hundreds of transactions, and I think I got a little something to be able to teach you and show you a little something. But and this is not one of those communities where we jump in there and we start telling you, hey, you need to partner with us. Bring your 5,000 and bring your couple of $1,000 so we can make you a deal. No, I want you to know it. I want you to understand it for yourself. I want to create, and I am creating a community where people can share and you guys can do deals with each other. And I can jump in there and you can just ask me questions about your deal and I can answer it. That's better. So you keep all the money, okay? And you're not having to partner with me or to anyone. There's no allegations of scam or nothing crazy. One flat fee, you pay it every month. You get a boku of information from me and training from me. 20 years of experience in doing these real estate deals. So hey, like, subscribe, follow. When it drops, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to post it in there so you can go do it. But without any delay, this channel, we talk news. We avoid politics, current events. I try to avoid politics because some of y'all crazy. Y'all think that and you think the answer is in politics. I keep saying the answer isn't in politics. The answer is in doing what you need to do in your home, in your business, in your asset building, in your wealth building strategy. And it looks different for everyone. So I can sell you a system, but I can tell you if God doesn't want you to walk down that road, you're just going to be doing my system and still trying to figure out what he wants you to do with your life. I'm a believer that we rise and we fall based on God's purpose for our lives. Are we submitted to it or not? It took me a while to sit down in front of the camera and decide that this is what I'm going to do when it comes to real estate and sharing. I could be out running the streets trying to find the next deal or answering calls or dialing or talking to the admin people about what the next deal is. But I'm here talking to you because I believe content creation is very important. And so when you join the school community in that link, I've got my 60 days to monetize program. 60 days to monetize program that can be used to help monetize your YouTube channel, because I'm a true believer that the top of funnel is YouTube. Top of funnel is social media content, period. But YouTube is, if you take some time and you're patient, you'll learn some stuff. Oh no. You'll be better than what you were before. Goodness, God have mercy. So, man, without any delay, let's jump into this program. I'm going to tell you guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. First one up, we're going to talk about this interview with Jada and Joe and Jada. So Joe, Fat Joe and Jada, they got a program. Go and like, subscribe, follow their channel if you're into it. Before we jump into anything having to do with what are the biggest ones we're gonna talk. Well, first let me tell you what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about commercial real estate, commercial leases on fire. There's a fire sale going on commercial properties right now, and you got to understand where it's coming from. So I'm gonna share with you a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about AI and how AI is affecting. We always hear about AI, but is it a hoax? And I've been doing some studying, and I just want to talk about that because if I could tell you and share with you what I see, then you can better navigate some of the things and understand some of the narratives that are out right now when it comes to AI. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Commercial AI. Oh, dude, I'm going to talk. Blockbuster YouTube hits. Blockbuster YouTube hits. I'm going to tell you, that's why I keep saying YouTube right now is the gateway for a lot of you guys that are trying to get your game on. Trying to get your game on. YouTube is the gateway. You have to be patient. You have to be persistent. But YouTubers take it up to 150 million in the box office, blowing out Hollywood's numbers. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but let's start with this Fat Joe.
Right? Because I'm wondering if they doing it because they just want to be there.
Along with the nice pay.
Along with the nice pay. But you get what I'm saying, right?
I do. I just spoke about this recently with politicians. I went to the Capitol Hill, and the American Music Fairness Act, AMFA, we were talking to congressmen, in their offices about this.
All right, I'm going to stop it real quick. Like, subscribe, follow for content, guys. I'm just telling you, hint, hint. This is Fat Joe sitting down with Maya and Jadakiss. Fat Joe and Jadakiss sitting down with Maya, and we're going to talk about the music industry. And these guys ain't making no money. I'll let you guys know. And this goes back to what I'm saying about YouTube. I believe YouTube right now mirrors exactly what the music industry looked like in the 80s, 90s, 70s, to early 2000s. Everybody was looking for a deal, right? They trying to get money. The YouTube right now is the space where music was years ago. YouTube is actually taking that space and it's creating a lot of people who are getting the bag and they're making tons of money.
And how legacy artists, 80 years old plus, are still out here touring. Their bodies are breaking down, like in heels, all kinds of stuff. Is it because they have to or because of this issue? And so in the United States, artists that don't write their music, of course, and a lot of our legends don't, or weren't able to because they were still paying. Yep, that too. And we didn't necessarily know the business back then, and it was an opportunity. And plus, we didn't have social media and all these platforms. And so there's a bill that we're trying to press to be passed for those reasons. Not just legacy artists.
And then what does it do? Get them paid?
Every time your song plays on radio, you should be getting paid.
No matter what.
And because the United States hasn't adopted that, but the rest of the world has, international is also not paying us. So I spoke about that, but it hurts me when I see our legacy artists out here grinding away. And I know how my body feels on the road after touring and touring. And I dance and I work out. I'm like, something has to change. And then all the overhead that artists incur and the commissions. And
I get up.
Yeah.
I get up.
I'm not complaining because we do have it good.
I'm in the hotel room. I get up and I get that shower and I look at that mirror just before I go to do an hour concert and my bones start tweaking and all. I'll be like, damn, like I got to do this shit again. Don't get it fucked up. Fucking with the fans. I'm there. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. This, that. But I don't know about anybody else. But I'm getting older and like I'm catching pains for no reason everywhere. Like,
man, it's crazy watching artists that used to bob to, you used to lean back to, used to go through all of those different things in the club, hanging out. It's crazy watching them now get older. I told my wife and I told my kids, this is crazy. We're in the only society era, I gotta pronounce my words fully, era where the children's music overlaps the adults' music. Literally, the same music that we listen to, lean back. My daughter was putting in her playlist for her pool party for graduation. And I was like, whoa, 15, 20 years old. This is very different. And I say it's because of social media. It's because of the evolution that's taking place in technology. First time where our children listen to our music. And people say, is rock? No. You got to realize with rock and roll, Elvis, you had older folks saying he twitched his hips. He shakes his hips too long. It must be the devil. They didn't like Elvis. They didn't like Elvis. They didn't. Even in the 20s had his own sound. We had a completely different sound when it came to even disco, right? Disco had its own era, right? So I would probably say rock and roll. But rock and roll still came in during that time of hip hop. It still came in. Hip hop was there. You had Elvis. I'm like the real rock and roll sounds. I'm talking like Green Day. People say y'all don't even like Green Day. Some of y'all don't even think Green Day is a rock group. Green Day was rock if you listen to Green Day. But you had Metallica, AC/DC, some of these other groups, they overlapped. In some of these older groups, they overlapped. So over there's a little overlap. I think it's an overlap. Now, that's for our white brothers and sisters out there, Caucasian brothers and sisters. Yeah, it happened over there too, and it happened some. And the reason I know it's happening over there, one of my son's friends, he actually listens to a lot of the hip hop, a lot of the rock music that his parents listen to, and it's normal for his age group. So I thought that was crazy, but we're in a different time right now.
2 days ago, this shit hurt for no reason. My shoulder be hurting from leaning back. This shit real.
Come with me to the gym.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck the gym. You're going to get me hurt more.
I never heard nobody that got hurt more working out, but it's cool.
What I'm saying to you, it don't got nothing to do with the gym, man.
Yeah,
she knows what's up. Like Smokey Robinson is performing. All of them is performing. I just want to know, you said they do it because they love it.
And they get in the bag.
Of course they get the bag. The problem
But you know
is,
what else too? I know, especially for men, the responsibility and the expectation of taking care of others, even those that are not in your bloodline, like your community, your crew. It comes with that expectation. And a lot of us want to do it because we've been blessed with the opportunity, the gift to step up into that position. So it comes with a lot of giving constantly, but also not just your blood or your immediate family. There's also people that rely on you to stay employed, to stay working, help their families. And then there's community. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of, your heart if you have it in you. And it's also expected as well. I am not complaining because we are so blessed.
Too blessed.
But it's also the reality of what people don't necessarily know that comes with fame or notoriety.
Yeah. But I love to help others. And you're absolutely right? Because fortunately enough, God sheds a light on certain artists and they're able to make a great living. But your family's expectation of spending goes up. If your bracket go up, they know how to spend more. And it's like, it's real shit. They know how to spend more.
See, I believe we should be looking at what took place with the music industry, some of these artists that are out here, and we got to be learning from their example. Too much, for too long, we've allowed artists to determine the culture. We look at them and we say they're creating a culture. And what have they created? A culture of hustle culture, a culture of like street culture. All these things are true, and I get it. And I know you come out of nothing to something. I get that. But there's got to be a point where these guys can't be your celebrity. They can't be famous. They're dealing with a bigger issue. And it's bigger than a lot of Americans actually know. A lot of these guys are finding out when they see these YouTubers coming out doing streaming, making hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly just off of streaming, thousands of dollars, working probably way less than these guys are doing it. They got to question now the lie that was told to them when they came to the music industry. And I believe that same lie will be perpetuated into the content creation industry if you don't know what the lie is. And the lie for a lot of these people is, hey, this is the way we got to do it, and there's no other way. We got to get somebody to put us on. Like, we got to get put on. I love the fact right now that a lot of these kids are realizing that they don't need anybody to put them on, and they're going to do stuff. And we're going to talk more about it, because that's what I saw when I saw these YouTube movies getting made. I automatically thought about this interview right here and how they're sitting back and just, oh, we got to protect our right. They didn't know this when they came out. Fat Joe, Funkmaster Flex, all these old school artists, they didn't understand that they were selling away their IP. Selling away. I'm telling people, yeah, this is a real estate show. This is an IP show. Real estate can be digital. Real estate can be physical. Real estate can be it can be something that you put out and you sell, or it can be something where people go to get information from. And like you see, YouTube, these platforms are your real estate. Your real estate is not just a physical place you go to. And the lie is that is it. And if we can't learn from these artists struggling and fighting right now to get their masters back, everybody is a creator, bro. Everybody's a creator. You watching this program, everyone watching this program, you got something to give, you got something to create. Somebody will buy it, listen to it, or grab it from you. Period. I'm just here to tell you that it's not just this physical real estate thing that they're telling you about. It's everything that's involved, not just in the real estate, but also involved in creating people coming to your door, knocking on your door and say, hey, I want to buy that. Or, hey, I want to know more about what you're doing. All of these are assets. And I'm glad we're waking up to this, because the sooner we wake up to this, the better we can start talking about real generational wealth and stop using that thing as a cliche, understand what it is, and begin to posture ourselves to be in a position now to really generate wealth. Okay. And not the narrative that we've been sold, but real wealth.
And like, I'm going back to 80-year-old artists, 70-year-old artists. They got grandchildren. They got kids that, if they're working at Meyer LLC, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. When you see these artists and their son is the fake manager, they got to employ everyone, and they're living a life. Mm-hmm. Your son is going in, Fat Joe's son. Fat Joe's already 80 years old. He's supposed to be super rich. He's selling Rewind the Time, and there's somebody. That's the problem I've had a lot with like people close to me, or I've employed over the years, because Kay is down with Kiss. When he throw his daughter party, he gotta act like Don Corleone, and they expect shit just because he's affiliated and works with you.
That ain't fair.
No. This is the price of fame. The price of fame and all that, and then so it's like
the price of fame is really what their mind determined that is going to be. See, they sell this image because they have to sell this image. Somebody told them, hey, you got to sell this type of image. But I look at like iShowSpeed, I look at some of these other streamers and people on the YouTube side. There's no image that people are selling you. I'm literally sitting down in my real estate office and I'm streaming this and talking to you about this, and we're going to move to the next topic. And a couple thousand people going to watch it, a couple hundred people going to watch it, whatever it may be. Some people like, some people will follow and subscribe to it. The narrative in their head created the issues right now that they're dealing with in the music business. Is the desire, and I keep telling people, it's desire to get put on by other people when you've got everything that you need in you to be successful. You just got to go do it. Even if you use the blueprint of other people and how they went about doing it, that's cool to start. But understand, even in using that blueprint, it's some things that'll relate to you, your design, some things that in that blueprint that don't set by your design. And I kind of feel that's why a lot of people struggle, even when it comes to courses for real estate, courses for building or creating anything. You think the model that's given to you is the answer. It's not. It's what's given to you in that model that needs to be structured for your own personal development, your unique self, your unique design, your unique message that needs to be curated and put to use. Damn, we cannot be the type of people that just look at something, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get that. And a lot of artists were like that. A lot of hip hop artists was, all I got to do is go platinum and do this, and my life is good. No. They didn't know the business of music. They didn't know how their money was actually made, who's paying them. A lot of these guys didn't know. But we're dealing in this age now of AI, technology, clear transparency, YouTube. I've seen a couple YouTube A&Rs out there and executives out there actually giving out music game, because I think it's important. I think this is the time. I wish they would have done it earlier, but this is the time for some artists who really, really need to know this. So we're in a stage right now where everything is changing. It's not going to be the same, guys. It's not. We can sit back and talk about it as much as we want, but real estate is no longer, hint, hint, a house. It's going to get to the place where real estate is going to be an asset on a blockchain. Oh, no. I'm predicting it. I'm telling you. You won't even sit back. You will pay your bills on a blockchain. You will pay your house note on a blockchain. Your note and your ownership will be on a blockchain. If you're leasing a place, you will lease that place, and your lease will be on a blockchain. So your landlord can't F around and tell you that he said something he didn't say. We're seeing right now the evolution of digital technology, IP, intellectual property, and we have to learn from what they did in the past. We have to.
You know, you got people got a big heart, and then you got people who just don't give a fuck. You got some guys that be like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Tracy Morgan tells me, I know he's a comedian, but he be like, yo, he called the cops on his family. When they come to that mansion in Jersey, he's like, yo, 2 black guys on the corner. It be his fucking brother. 2 black guys on the corner look suspicious. Get him out of here. That motherfucker Tracy Morgan, that motherfucker, it's like, yo, they don't belong in this neighborhood. Get them the fuck out of here. Like, it's like, yo, like, anyway, I don't know how we got here. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
It's real, though.
The boy is mind talk.
Okay.
I was like, what did it do to your body?
Well, you know what? First of all, shout out to Brandy, Monica, Kelly, and Coco Jones was on that tour, Money Long. You know, all the ladies are just so incredibly talented, and they've been in this game for like 30 years. And before that, because they were putting in the work prior to them hitting. So just, first of all, to be present, to give flowers, to be a part of that era is wonderful. And then also to see an arena tour, sell out verbatim, every word, every ad lib.
Yo, Kelly Rowland was looking brand new too.
Amazing
Productions, Bobby.
Yes.
All right.
Sheesh.
First of all, everybody sounded good.
All right, let's stop it right there. Struggling. So the same people that we looked up to in the past, they're trying to figure this thing out right now too. And just the movement of technology, man, I tell you, if we can't learn from the past, what the heck is going to happen? What is heck is going to happen? So check this out. We rolling. Let me roll over to this article real quick. Let's talk about this real quick. So when I saw this Fat Joe interview, and they went on, and I'm not even gonna go further down there. More or less, they were talking more and more about just the issues in the music space. I saw this, and it blew my mind. Some people knew about this. I didn't know. I didn't know about Obsession. Did some of y'all know about Obsession? I don't know. I didn't know about what is it, Backroom? I didn't know about it. I would see it pop up, and I'm like, oh, something else. I think what caught my attention was I found out that this dude did it under $1 million as a YouTuber. He did the movie under $1 million, got 150 million. Now, if you don't think Hollywood is really tripping out about this, I literally believe right now, when I saw this, I believe things have changed, completely have changed, okay? There's going to be a point where people will come looking for you if you're out there making content and you're putting things out there. Shout out to all my people doing movies. Some of y'all doing some mini-series. I've seen those mini-series, the drama series, the action mini-series. I think it's dope. I think it's really dope. And this is a big thing. This is a really big thing. Now, I'm going to tell you my opinion about it further on down the line.
Well, the top 2 films in America are challenging the Hollywood establishment and proving that young creators with passion can beat the studios at their own game. CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter has more on how YouTube is responsible for producing the next top filmmakers.
Yes, the YouTube revolution has officially come for Hollywood. It was a historic weekend at the box office, with the top 2 movies in America being Backrooms and Obsession. Both of these are horror movies made by 20-something directors who honed their craft on YouTube.
Oh, now 20-somethings, age 20-somethings. Hey, like, subscribe, follow. Tell me if you've seen this movie before. Leave a comment and let me know. I don't know. I haven't seen them. I'm going to watch it this weekend simply because what they said, like $1 million to make that movie, under $1 million. I wanted to see how good it is.
Both were able to use relatively small amounts of money to make their movies and then market them inexpensively online to their existing fan bases. And this formula worked astonishingly well. All of Hollywood now buzzing about how these 2 movies broke out and what it might mean for the future of the movie business. Now, Obsession came out first. It came out on May 15th. It's directed by 26-year-old Curry Barker. It cost less than $1 million to produce, and so far it's made $150 million, not just in the US, but around the world. That is a jaw-dropping return on investment. Something like that almost never happens in the movie business. Then this past weekend came Backrooms, directed by 20-year-old Kane Parsons. He developed the Backrooms project for years on his YouTube channel. He had millions of fans online doing that. He was able to win the backing of some independent movie studios. So he had about $10 million to make the movie. And still, it absolutely crushed expectations. It ranked #1 in its opening weekend in the US and in other markets, raking in about $120 million worldwide, with ticket sales driven by Gen Z.
But we've got an example of creators woodshedding things, putting them online, building an audience, and now the people with the purse strings are going to notice probably a little bit sooner because they see what they can do at the box office, in the form of these 2 films that are overperforming.
Group chat is back. We've got the right folks to talk about this. Let me show you this box office from over the weekend. As we mentioned, Backrooms and Obsession, 2 horror films that started out as YouTube phenomena. But I want to show you the number 3rd film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I think, by definition, helps us understand, meaning IP fatigue.
A lot of IP fatigue. You've seen in the past 5 years, Audie, action and adventure films have skyrocketed at the box office because Hollywood studios know that there's a known return. Even if the margin isn't huge, because remember, these movies cost a ton to produce, there's a good understanding of what the return on investment is going to be. It also helps to fuel their entire sort of ecosystem of fandom, right? Because, you got to have people showing up in theme parks. You're going to sell goods. Those Baby Yodas don't sell themselves, Audie.
I thought they did. That was the whole point. The other thing I would think.
Do you think that they've been feeding us a lie? I was thinking about that listening to her. I think that they've been feeding us some type of lie. And when we talk about programming, and I know people talk about this all the time on TikTok. I see you guys on YouTube talking about being programmed by the system, for example. And when I say program, and think about this, the music that we listen to a lot of times, it's curated and given to us. We don't choose it. It wasn't until Apple did what it did with Apple Music, and then Google started doing that, and all these other streamers started jumping on there, and now you can listen to any type of genre that you want to listen to. You don't have to listen to the radio anymore. But up until that point, and even now, the songs are selected for us. I believe the movies are selected for us to have a certain purpose or a certain outcome that they bring out. To me, that's scary. And a lot of people don't really think about it. You're only seeing what somebody says is good enough to hit the screen. And a lot of times the people who say that is good enough to hit the screen, or they want to back it financially because I think this is good, we're going to back this financially. They're not sitting back and saying, will your children like to hear this? Or they're not sitting back and saying, hey, I think that this will inspire people to this level. I think it's so far off from that. I think what you're discovering is they determine, and we knew this, what movies go out there based on a dollar that they want to spend. This changes it because it's some of the crap that's out there, some movies, and I'm a movie buff, bro. Anything that drops on Fandango, anything that drops on Netflix, Prime, I will pay $19, $15, $6 to watch the movie. And sometimes if it's good and I really want, I'll pay and I'll buy it digitally so I can watch it whenever I want to. But I'm only watching what's given to me. You think I want to watch Mortal Kombat 2 right now? I mean, I would have loved to watch that a year or two ago when the Mortal Kombat 1 dropped, but the cost of actually doing it and getting it out here for them is huge. It's a lot of cost. This is going to change the game. I don't think it's going to change the game when it comes to making movies, because I'm still going to always want to watch certain curated types of finished movies. I don't always want to watch just raw movies. Like you're watching a raw live stream right now. And when it's done, when I chop it up, it's going to be raw bits that go out there. But not everybody want to watch raw content. And I realize that. Some people like to watch professionally done, curated stuff. And I think there's going to be a market for both of them. This is just showing you that YouTubers, you guys out there, y'all need to get up and start creating something. Y'all need to get up and start making something. I don't care if you're a nurse. I don't care if you're a guy and you work 9 to 5, 9 to 6. I'm doing this to tell you that this is the open door. The door is open and you got to run through it, be consistent, and go through it, because I feel like YouTube now is slowly becoming, it is like that in TikTok too, but more YouTube. YouTube is where the bag is at, bro. That's where it is. Oh no. Waving their hands and say, I do this and I do it better than the guy that's been doing it for Hollywood for a long time. They have been picking these movies and probably letting the best films go for the longest period of time. Now we get to choose, and we don't have to wait for them to spend the money, and we don't have to be subjected to what they put out.
Talking about, though, is studio consolidation. At this point, it might actually be easier to make your film on YouTube first and get some interest for distribution. Looking just 10 years ago, 20th Century going under DreamWorks, under Universal, MGM to Amazon, of course, pending WB to Paramount. And I didn't even have room to fit all the boutique studios that used to exist, whether it was your Merchant Ivories or your Miramaxes or all these things that there were just more places to bring your stuff. I can see why any filmmaker would just make it on their own.
I mean, I think we're seeing the rise of DIY and do it at home and do it yourself across the board. And it's because the cost of things is so incredibly expensive to attend any kind of live event or any kind of entertainment. So if you're going to go and spend those dollars, you want to support somebody that maybe you can follow and see extra content from them online for free.
Yeah, but also you're my insurgent.
I know.
You're my backroom, right? Like you're doing Under
That's
the Desk
very true,
News.
yeah.
I think you said there's like a YouTube conference going on right now.
There is. So this is really cool. This is our White House Correspondents' Week.
Oh.
It's trending up here in DC. Shout out trending up.
Shout out trending up.
Something else, which is the influence of YouTube creators. Julia Borston is standing by with more on that story in today's Tech Check. Julia?
Kelly, a 20-year-old director with a massive YouTube fan base broke records to dominate the box office this past weekend. Backrooms cost indie studio A24 just $10 million to make. It grossed $81.5 million at the domestic box office this weekend, with 86% of ticket buyers under age 35. This shows the power of YouTubers to monetize their audience in new mediums and audiences' hunger for authentic voices and fresh ideas. Now, this phenomenon is also evident in the #2 movie at the box office, Obsession. Released by Focus Features, it cost less than $1 million to make and has crossed about $105 million in the box office in its first 2 weeks. It's directed by
$105 million from $1 million, under $1 million spent. That's a damn good return on money, bro. That's a really good return.
A 6-year-old with a huge following on YouTube and TikTok. Now, while those two films soared, ticket sales for Disney's Mandalorian dropped 69% from its first weekend to the second weekend. Now, all of this reflects YouTube's power as the biggest media company in the world. #1 in streaming watch time for 3 years, ahead of Netflix, Disney, and Prime Video, with more than 2.7 billion monthly active users as of May 2026, according to Global Media Insights. And those people are watching billions of hours of video every day, according to YouTube.
Hey, if you've seen Mandalorian, drop a comment. Let me know. I like to watch this stuff when it hits like TV streaming. I'll let it sit in the theater. For me, I'll let it sit. I'm only going to go watch those movies because I'm talking about it now, and I'm very curious on how it plays in the movie theater. Very curious.
Now, the pull from YouTube to the big screen is benefiting the theater chains. Cinemark says it reached an all-time high in terms of its domestic box office for May. We see Cinemark shares up nearly 11%, AMC shares up more than 15%, IMAX shares up to only 2%, but those shares are up about 44% in the past 12 months. Guys?
Is there, Julia, a sort of pipeline now of these projects? Were these kind of trial balloons? Is there more to come?
Well, I would say what's interesting here, Kelly, is that it's not like there was some strategy from YouTube to Focus Features to A24. This was not an industry-wide strategy. This is just reflecting what's happening in the culture. And I think what's really notable is there's a lot of hope in the industry from the studio executives that I've been talking to, as well as folks in the theater industry, that now that you have young people coming to movie theaters, maybe coming 2 weeks in a row, they're seeing trailers, and that means maybe they're going to want to come back a lot more this summer than they came last summer. There are some big movies coming up, including a Scream movie that's part of a longtime Scream franchise, which is all about the horror movie industry. And the question is whether that franchise continues to resonate with these younger viewers, or whether what we're seeing here indicates that they just want something really different and fresh and new.
Yeah, like I've been watching. I was sitting back the other day and I realized there ain't nothing on TV. Like legit, there's nothing on TV. Like outside of watching YouTube, and I love watching some of my favorite content creators create what they create. I realized that the movies that are being dropped are crap. It's like, you know, it seems like they always redo the same storyline. It's almost like it's the end of the world and it's coming from a tornado. Oh, no, not a tornado. It's coming from a tsunami. That tsunami is destroying that country. Or it's the end of the world and it's coming from asteroids coming into the atmosphere. I don't know how many times I can watch variations of Greenland. And you know, and then they'll bring back some of the worst shows. Like, I'll watch certain shows and I'm like, man, I can't wait till the second season. And the second season never comes. And it's crazy that the second season never comes because somebody said, I think it didn't perform as well as it should have. I'm like, damn. And I watch shows. I've been watching shows. I'm a show buff. I'm a show buff. So I think that this is very much necessary. And you know what's even doper? I believe that this is the gateway. This is the season when people like you, like me, people that just created and wanted to get put on, or just wanted to do those things that, or had a message, or had something they wanted to share with the world. This is your time to do it. This is your time to do it. This is the time to do it because people are all afraid of AI. Everybody's screaming AI is going to take over everything. I personally believe part of that is a hoax, and I'm going to tell you why later on in the programs. Keep locked in. Stay locked in. Because I've been studying it, and that's all I do is watch content all day. Not all day. I do take a shower. Oh, no. Clean up well. But I'm sitting back watching it, and I'm like, this is not going to play out the way people think it's going to play out with AI. I don't know. See, but we are force-fed a lot of narratives easily, and we just take it and run with it. That's the American way, right? That's the West. We're force-fed a lot of narratives, and we just run with it. And the rest of the world, UK, China, they're marching to their own drum. America is great when people here march to their own drum, and we're not held back from being creative and expressive. I just truly believe that's one thing. Make America great again. That's how you make it great. You give people the opportunity to take their creative ideas, intellectual property to the market. So Real Estate Lunchbox isn't just about real estate, bro. Like literally, this is about IP, because we have real estate in your mind. You got real estate online. You got this IP. When we can grow to understand that it's more about asset building than anything, we change the game. And I think that this thing is going to highlight it. I think personally, it's probably going to have a lot more venture capital companies, VC companies, coming into the YouTube space and looking for people who generate great ideas and a following. Because the only way you make $150 million and spending 200,000 and you cater to your audience and you've actually started incubating this around your YouTube audience way before it actually went to the big screen. Yeah, you get 1 million people following you. Yeah, think of it. All you need is 1 million of them. Half of them showing up to the box office will pay it off. But we live in a world where everything is global now. So
About to say that the novelty is a draw, but then maybe the Scream franchise suggests that there's still some market out there for these franchises to just go on and on and on.
let's go.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's the question. Scream opens on Friday. Then we have a big Steven Spielberg movie opening a week later. There's a...
I don't know about Scream. I've watched Scream 7. What they got a Scream 8 that's opening up? Because this was just done 5 days ago. They got another Scream that's opening up. I'm not going to watch it. I don't know, man. It's they tell us what they want. They tell us, for some reason, someone sits back and says, "This is what you need to know, and what you need to see, and that's it." And that's it.
Understand. What is this? A shift in Hollywood. YouTube creators find silver screen success. Over the weekend, 2 of them took the top spots at the box office with their horror flicks. Backrooms made an $81 million debut, breaking all kinds of records as an original horror film. Its director and YouTuber, Kane Parsons, is just 20 years old.
YouTube is the biggest platform for video content. So if you don't think that's where you're going to find people who are great at making video content, you're out of touch.
Also drawing audiences,
It's not just the content, it's the ideas, honestly.
YouTuber Curry Barker's film, Obsession. Made for less than $1 million, so far it's raked in more than $150 million worldwide in 3 weeks.
I love you!
Falling behind these unlikely hits is a studio enterprise.
You good?
The Mandalorian and Grogu coming in 3rd place at the box office.
I think Gen Z consumers are smart, and I think they're tired of all the endless deluge of spin-offs and sequels and franchise garbage.
Another YouTuber also made his...
Man, when they gonna release Fast and Furious? What's the second part to 10? I'm still trying to wait on that. What's going on? See, they leave a lot of this stuff just floating out there, and then they sit back and wonder why the ticket sales are low, and they think they're building expectation. Honestly, I'm probably moving to the next thing, and I'm waiting for it to go from box office to stream through my TV, honestly. Because made me wait too long. And yes, I am part of that generation. I don't like to wait too long.
Oh, no.
I don't. And that's just me personally. Everybody's different.
Mark on audiences earlier this year. There is too much at stake. Markiplier made, financed, and released Iron Lung after it was rejected by Hollywood studios. Made for under $5 million, it made more than $50 million at the box office.
What we're seeing now with all the YouTubers is that their fan base is locked in, and they will follow them wherever they go.
This YouTuber, whose film House of Eden was in theaters last year, says this is only the beginning.
I know other YouTubers that are really wanting to break into the space, so I think it's just going to be a domino effect in the best way.
Bringing new blood to Hollywood movie magic.
Yeah, the gatekeepers are gone, bro. The gatekeepers, they may not be completely gone. I may be a little bit more excited, like, hey, dude, they're not really gone. But some motion you can't stop. YouTube is the largest streaming platform out there right now. You can't stop that motion. I think you find talent that's in here and you can curate that, but I don't think you can stop the motion, period. I don't see how you can stop it. I don't see. Well, demonetizing, and there's people that will get their channels demonetized, but they still make content, and they have Patreons where they release, and they probably make a little bit more money off of Patreon. But, you know, hey, what do I know? But hey, like, subscribe, follow for more content. Check this out. AI. I'm still at the point right now where I believe AI is possibly the whole thing that we're talking about. AI could possibly be hoax is such a strong word, and I know I'll probably get some backlash from this because I use AI also, but the math isn't mathing in my opinion.
Unfortunately, there was another flurry of pink slips that were handed out in May. And yes, you can see the fingerprints of artificial intelligence. Now, this is coming to us from outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas, and they're reporting that U.S.-based employers, they announced about 97,000 layoffs last month. That is a 16% increase from April. And as you mentioned, this is the highest May total since 2020, back when COVID was crippling the economy. And when you look at the trend, you can see there was this big spike last spring. This was when DOGE was really slashing the federal workforce, also when the president rolled out his global tariffs. Thankfully, announced layoffs, they have come down since then, but they are up 3 months in a row, and they do remain elevated. So where are these announced layoffs? Well, pharmaceuticals, finance, this is fintech. They're about 5,000 to 6,000 each, almost 7,000 in transportation. But look at technology. That really stands out. Almost 40,000 announced layoffs there alone. That's the highest in any month for the tech sector in 3 years. And that's notable because we know tech is adopting artificial intelligence very aggressively. And Challenger found that AI was the leading reason why employers announced layoffs in May for the 3rd month in a row. This was the highest total for any month since Challenger started tracking this about 3 months ago. And when you look at the trend for announced layoffs that are being blamed on AI, you can see this trend is clearly going in the wrong direction, right? So far this year, companies have announced almost 90,000 layoffs that they blamed, at least in part, on artificial intelligence. That far surpasses the total from last year, and we're only not even halfway done with this year. However, what's less clear is how many companies are actually laying off workers because of artificial intelligence, and how many are just saying that because it sounds better than telling shareholders customers just aren't buying our products as much anymore. So there's a lot of debate over that. And Goldman Sachs has said that they found pretty limited impact so far from artificial intelligence on the labor market. And
that's it right there. That's it right there. I think that because it cost, because companies have hired so many people, experienced a lot of inflation, a lot of bubbling, a lot of fat overage, right, in their organizations. I believe this AI thing is a lie. I believe part of it is designed to kind of do two things. Change the workforce and the thinking of the workforce, okay? To create a level of panic and fear and anxiety, and probably begin to reshape the wages also, how much they pay. When I'm on LinkedIn, I'm looking at and I see AI consultant for real estate, AI consultant for tech, for healthcare. They're looking for people in those spaces to help build the AI tools to help them run their business individually. These companies, these corporations, they don't know how to merge it together. So when you have corporations that people are firing, like you hear Meta let loose 5, I can see Meta, because Meta's one of those. I mean, they've got their own AI tool, but their AI tool really has a nowhere place to go. And when you look at the IPOs that are coming out, you understand why Meta has a nowhere place to go. Gemini and YouTube, Google, hands down, they've got the largest search engine. Anthropic, focusing on code, it is running your computer when you're not even there. OpenAI may be the biggest one of them all. That's a scam. It may be. And I'm saying it on here, and I know some people are going to be like, you crazy. I just question certain things. Like, I'm questioning the amount of money that's being spent and the return decades out. I'm questioning that. I'm questioning, after using workflows myself, NAN, on Make, on Go High Level, all these different software platforms. If you don't know, when you join in the school community, we talk about a lot of these different things. The link is going to be in the description. Just go and check it out. I'm going to pin it to this video. Free. Because in that, we talk about this. So I don't doubt that AI helps do the job better, because I've used it, vibe coding, all of that. I doubt that AI is really replacing these jobs that they're saying. I believe that they're trying to get AI to do certain techniques, certain things that it's not capable of doing right now in this season. And we won't probably see the full development of it until 5 or 10 years down the line, because some of the things that are necessary to get done, require multiple steps, and the cost of actually working or running that actual workflow, that actual flow, it's not practical right now. It's not achievable. It's theoretically you can do it, but implementing it actually it can't be done. Not yet. It takes more energy, more time to actually do it. Multiple steps in those processes. That's why I believe this is so fear-based. If it's anything else, it is fear-driven right about now. And the people who actually know how to navigate the fear, they're not going to let this thing take them out the game. If anything, when there's fear out there and people are scared, blood in the streets, I keep saying that's where the money's made, right?
It's also worth noting there are some other indicators out there that paint a more positive picture about the economy and the job market. For example, jobless claims, they do remain low. That's one that economists pay very close attention to. Job openings, they rebounded in April to a nearly 2-year high. There's now more job openings than job seekers. We haven't seen that since June. And private hiring in May rebounded to the fastest pace that we've seen in 16 months. So there is a bit of a mixed picture here. And Brianna, hopefully we get some more clarity on Friday when the official government jobs report for the month of May gets released.
This morning.
So think of it like this. How is it that AI is doing all these different things that they're claiming that it's capable of doing with people? And I run Claude, Nano Banana. I love it, okay? But how is it that AI is, they're saying theoretically, it's doing this, it's putting people out of jobs, people are losing their jobs. And they're showing big numbers when it comes to profit loss statements, companies bringing in all these money, labor. I'm wondering, are they bringing this in because they let these people go? Or are they really bringing it in because of AI? Because I have yet to see one workflow from any of these Fortune 500 companies that look like AI outside of basic customer service, text message notification, which everybody can do. And isn't it strange that mom and pop companies under 500 people actually make up a majority of the business in our country? But to implement AI in those smaller structures can result in those businesses going out of business unless the AI tokens, putting it to work, becomes heck of a lot cheaper. I can understand if you got a mom and pop shop, like we run wholesale deals, like you do your real estate stuff, if you guys that do that, or you may have your pet walking business, you may have your business where you clean trash cans, or you may go to somebody's house and you do service, LPN service, home care services. I can see on those smaller levels how AI can be implemented because I've done it, okay? And I do it, scrubbing lists, the emails every day. But when you get larger tasks, and Fortune 500 companies who typically don't make as much as these big boys, they have smaller budgets. Some of them do, not all of them, but a majority of them. I believe it's that they're probably going to be in the best situation, in the best positioning, because they can use AI to blow up their business and they can run and grow. But the larger companies are going to need a massive amount of money to run these AI tools on the background. And so saying that they're laying off all these people and these people don't have a job, I'm starting to scratch my head, and I'm being skeptical. I'm getting more and more skeptical on how fast they say AI is being implemented, how much it will change. I know it's going to change us drastically, but how many people are actually getting laid off? And I wonder if this is nothing more than an excuse to roll out universal basic income and have people believe we need it. We do need something, but free money ain't going to solve the problem, honestly. Jokers are going to get money, go do what they do normally, and oh yeah, you'll pay your bills. I get it. You'll pay the bills. But you also will stifle your creative juices. You now become subject to the nation, to the people who's giving you the check, believe it or not.
OpenAI facing a lawsuit brought by the state of Florida, really the first of its kind, saying ChatGPT is dangerous for children, helps mass shooters, and encourages suicide. With us now, CNN's Hadas Gold, who covers all things AI. So
I'm not even going to get into that. The first part was really the biggest part that I wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to get that far into it. One thing I do want to go over, Hey guys, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I appreciate you guys. Anybody watching this in replay or just jumping in right now, Real Estate Lunchbox, not just physical real estate, intellectual real estate. We bring culture and real estate into one place. When you subscribe, you'll get the notification when we open up the school community, which is going to show you how to make some money in real estate and not be subject to gurus telling you 20 years in the real estate business is a lot of things you need to know about it that we learned. And I don't feel any of these guru courses give it to you. So I'm opening up Real Estate Lunchbox for people like you. Everybody get the bread. Get the bread. So I like talking about the commercial market. That's just me. I enjoy seeing what happens in the commercial market because the commercial market to me it's a very interesting place when it comes to finances. And we'll talk about it because financing a commercial piece of property, a little bit different than a lot of bit different than financing a commercial single family property. It doesn't really match up, I think, apples to apples until you start going into multifamily and you get over 6 units, and then you're talking about multi-units. Then we're talking about doing commercial loans, which take it in, and now you're into the millions. Now, I knew this was going to happen. This is a fire sale, and I kind of believe when you talk about lending, the higher interest rates in commercial, the fact that on the commercial side, that a lot of these rates that they deal with for these businesses are adjustable. They may stay one rate for a year, then they adjust the next year. Sometimes they're month-to-month adjustments. When you start seeing a fire sale for commercial properties, ding, 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 deals are coming. Deals are coming.
Developers buying office buildings at deep discounts, sometimes marked down by more than 90%. Ooh. Grady Trimble joining us. These are fire sales. What's creating these fire sales, Grady?
They are, Stu. Building owners are finally cutting their losses and selling after office occupancy plummeted during the pandemic. In some cities, occupancy is rebounding, but the building values have essentially crashed since pre-COVID. Take a look at these two buildings in Chicago, for example. One just sold for $41 million. The previous seller paid $306 million in 2018 for the same building. The other went for $62.5 million, a third of its 2018 value. We spoke to the New York City-based lender that funded those two deals.
The cheaper you pay for the bricks, the more you can afford to spend on other parts of the building to make it nicer, more appealing. The more free rent periods you can offer tenants on long-term leases to attract them, the more generous you can be in listing commissions to brokers.
And in Denver, a developer purchased the Denver Energy Center building for just over $5 million following a foreclosure. That property sold for $176 million previously. The president of that company is converting several buildings into mixed-use office and residential. He says the 90 to 95% discount is the only way to make those costly conversions possible.
90 to 95% discounts in the commercial space right now. If I didn't put it out there, you wouldn't see 90 to 95% discount. I love commercial because it's less emotional. When I get into real estate on a single family side, even when it comes to invest, and it wasn't like this that much in investing. Now, and the investing side is becoming more and more like that. When I get into that, when I see single families doing that, that's crazy. But commercial is a different beast altogether. There are agents that just focus on commercial in the commercial space. The lending portion is crazy altogether. That's a 95% discount from $176 million to $5 million. I'm telling you, you got to get into this space. We don't get into these spaces, and historically we have done this. We got into it and ran into it when it was good. I'm telling people it is shitty, it is bad, get into it. Really, it's bad, get into it. Houses aren't selling, good, get into it. Commercial properties are selling for 95% less than what they do, get into it. Get into it, please, get into it.
It's not like companies don't want office space. It's just that the value proposition of office space had gotten so out of whack from what companies really need. And I think really affordable office space, just like really affordable apartment rents, will be attractive.
In some cases, the new buyers are getting creative. One developer is planning to convert a building not far from here that he bought at a steep discount into an urban farm, complete with a produce market and restaurants. Stuart, I know you're into farming, so maybe urban farming could be next for you if you can find a good deal on an office building.
Wait a second. I'm a tree farmer, okay?
Wealth transfer. This is the season for the wealth transfer. You guys keep talking about wealth transfer, wealth transfer, wealth transfer. You can't transfer any more wealth than that. And you know what's so crazy? I think out of ignorance, and this is why I tell people like and follow and subscribe, because in our school community, we talk. This is a topic we're gonna talk about. You don't need 7 credits. You don't need a 700 credit score or even a 650 credit score to buy these commercial deals. What you don't understand is these deals are based on income, cash flow coming from the asset. So when the cost of the loan, when the cash flow exceeds the cost, the carrying cost for the loan, it becomes a better investment now for the people on the other side. That's why in the past, they would manipulate the cash flow. They would manipulate the value, put the value higher because they were appraising for more. You got less money that you're spending now because you got lower interest rates, and they can manipulate the cash flow slightly. You don't need to do that now. Matter of fact, the cash flow exceeding how much it costs to carry that loan gets you in the pocket. It actually gets you there because you show the lender, hey, this is a performing asset. If you take it back from me, you're going to get a performing asset. And guess what? That performing asset now, you can loan me this amount of money because it's always going to pay. And you see it already. The tenants are in there, leases in place, 5 years, 10 years. And that's the thing with commercial. You got longer term leases. We're not talking about every year lease like in single families. So now you can show I'm going to be able to carry this for at least the next 5 years unless roaches take over the country. Unless something crazy happens, I'm still going to be able to take care of this. That's what makes it more inviting, entertaining for lenders. That's what they're looking for, guys. So like, subscribe, follow for more content. We'll talk more about this in the school community, and I'll share more about how to actually make these loans work for yourself. That's going to come out today before the end of the day. Yeah, it's going to open. It's going to open. It's going to open. I've been waiting, boy. I've been waiting. Yeah. This is the way I can go one to many, man. Because I've always been wanting to tell people and show people some of the stuff that I know when it comes to real estate. And historically, I've done one-on-one. And you got to realize with one-on-one, some people take what you have to share and they run with it. And then you get more people, you get more people that take what you have to share and never do anything with it. But if I can go from one-on-one, charging people a couple $100 to teach them this, and charge you guys $1 a day to actually learn this, with the hopes that you go one too many, I think I'm doing a freaking good behind job. I'm not asking you to split deals with me. Don't pay me nothing. Just get in the service, get in the group, get in the community, and learn and just change. Because I'm tired of this fictitious imagery of what generational wealth is, and people go in without the tools or the information. And you look at YouTube, which is a great platform, but it's scattered. And you have people that, great guys who have been doing real estate wholesaling probably 5-10 years, great guys, but they jump to, oh, you can do real estate with no money down, which is a lie. You need money. And they miss the point in saying, listen, what you learn can be applied to your basic lease writing that you do for your shop, whether you got a barbershop, whether you got a salon, whether you got basic lease, understanding leases. Now it can go from that to even a lease that you write for your single family. I wouldn't say, apartment complexes, but taking that information, you become more deadly now. You look at these lease terms and say, oh, we buy based on terms. Hit. Hey guys, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I am out for today. I've reached my pinnacle. But remember, you are made in the image of God, man. You are special. You're unique. You got a unique destiny. Go rock with it. Don't listen to these fools because they lying to you. Discover your path and your life will change. Peace.